this idea of, well, can the federal courts solve this? Can they step in and do it? Well, what we know is that federal court litigation tends to only be as strong as the record before it. And so what that requires now is, as of June 28th, Chevron is dead. So with Chevron now dead, it creates the opportunity to really robustly develop the record before either the agency or the immigration courts to say, why is this requirement of a mandatory bar complaint requirement is superfluous, it's obstructive, it's oppressive, and really in some ways not relied on by the immigration courts or the agencies, because they don't wait for an outcome from the disciplinary advisor at all. So that we're forced to requirement is very much a form over substance kind of a requirement. And you can go back to even the dissents, go back to the dissent in matter of Rivera, go back to the dissent in matter of Lozada. There's great language there. And while it was foreshadowing back in the 80s, we've shown that all of it, for the most part, has now come true. So what they were foreshadowing has now come true. And I think it becomes essential that we lay the record and really put forth these arguments to show that this has now shown that it is oppressive and it is obstructive to due process. Moreover, there is no statute that requires a bar complaint filing. There is no regulation with the exception of in the asylum context. There is a limited issue there. But with regards to just general motions to reopen before immigration court or even the agency that does not include asylum, there's nothing other than this agency interpretation, which now with the destruction or the undoing of Lozada under Loper-Bright, not Lozada, the undoing of Chevron under Loper-Bright, I think now those arguments are right to say, look, courts don't owe a deference. And I think even in all of the rest of the substantial compliance jurisdictions, there isn't really a resounding, yes, this is the right thing to do. What the courts have said is we defer to the agency and we say, okay, it's reasonable. And now I think we should kind of push back against that requirement, but make your record. There is on the feature page, there is a policy brief that AILA has put out. Attach it to your motions. If even if you don't feel like you want to make all of these robust arguments, attach it to your motions to say, look, there's a lot going on here that has changed in the over 3 decades of Lozada, and that the courts and the board and even the immigration court should now start to address it.